Recently, and Chil-soo, the chairman of the Presidential Transition Committee for the President-elect Yoon Suk-yeol, hereinafter referred to as the Transition Committee, said that as soon as Yoon Suk-yeol is inaugurated this coming May, his administration is to revise some of the campaign promises made during the election. You may be wondering whether election promises can be revised. Well, let's find out. What is an election promise? An election promise is a promise made by a government, a political party, a candidate, etc., to the people to achieve something or bring about some changes. Voters compare the promises of different candidates and vote while deciding which one will be more beneficial to them. Therefore, election promises are critical in a democracy. Is it possible to revise the promise? If so, can election promises be amended? The bottom line is, yes, it is possible. It is not illegal to not keep the original election promise, but rather, it is necessary to revise the pledge after the election rationally. The budget of the state is limited, but promises related to welfare and pensions are bound to cost money. So, the election promises must be refined realistically. The promise that the Transition Committee wants to amend now is the promise of a monthly salary of 2 million won per soldier. To make this a reality, it is necessary to raise taxes or cut other expenditures. However, raising taxes increases the burden on the public, and cutting other expenses can lead to resistance from those who previously received benefits. So, the Transition Committee amends its promises based on the existing budget in Korea. In addition, there may be an adverse effect when a promise becomes a reality. The Moon Jae-in administration's key promise was income-led growth, represented by an increase in the minimum wage. Income-led growth theory predicted that if wages were raised along with the minimum wage, consumption would increase, and the economy would prosper. However, the increase in the minimum wage had the adverse effect of reducing employment. A problem may arise even if people predicted a positive impact in theory, and thus, the election promises need to be refined with the experts. In conclusion, rather than a concept that an elect must keep, an election promise needs to be rationally readjusted to create social benefits in the end. To win votes in elections, candidates often make too many promises they aren't fully prepared to realize. However, unprepared promises are better discarded. Therefore, we need to not only look at the promises and vote but also need to watch how the promises change after the election.